What's harder, being a former professional athlete or an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur. And I don't even know if I consider myself an entrepreneur, but yeah, it's definitely
Of course you are.
Yeah, maybe. But definitely starting a business has been by far the most challenging thing I've ever done, but hands down the most rewarding thing I've ever done. It's like you're building something from scratch and you're seeing customers repeatedly use your product. It's an unbelievable feeling. And like when you hear like the Shopify cha-ching, it's like, yes, this is great. But then, by the way, it'll never get old.
It never gets old, doesn't it? When you see them come in?
Never. And then like the other thing that really gets me is like when you get a kind of heartfelt email.
Yeah.
And it's just like how this has helped their lifestyle, from a new mother who's just trying to navigate having a child to being using Wholesupp just to keep them sane, keep them nourished from the inside out. That's like, you're going, wow, we actually are making a real impact on people's lives. And that's kind of the nice bit. But of course, there's a lot of challenges along the way.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a little bit more purpose to this than playing, say, rugby?
Yeah. So look, I think when I was growing up, sport was all I knew really and all I wanted to do. I was really driven, like from, I don't know, being the young. So I think there's a little bit in this. Being the youngest of three boys, I was definitely picked on for my brothers. Not like picking on me in a nasty way, but like we'd always fight and play around. And I was always super competitive because they're the cool kids. They're like, I always want to hang around with their friends. And like when you're younger, that's all you tried to do. So I dove into sport because they're mad about football, rugby. We played all sorts of sports. And that's why I probably got my competitive edge, just being the youngest. So I love sports. It was my identity. I definitely didn't hit the kind of peaks that I wanted to. But now, do I have any regrets? The trajectory of my career? Definitely not. Like I tapped out of sport when I probably could have continued, but I would end up being like what you call a journeyman, or one of those people who kind of go from club to club. Instead, I wanted to kind of not be behind the eight ball corporately. So when I stopped playing, I moved back to London and started working in digital transformation. Worked for a company called Capita for a while. I ended up being head of legal and financial services there. So helping with M&A deals predominantly around data rooms, the tech side of it, which was interesting enough. But like it's only so much interest in that for me personally in the tech side of it. Then moved into digital transformation, so helping businesses go international, acquire new customers, set up geographically. Loved that, and that's where I got
building.
Yes, the building and seeing what was possible. The emergence of rapidly growing e-commerce businesses got me really excited. But during all that period of time, I ended up losing 23 kilos in weight. So it wasn't
because you were probably working insane hours.
Yes, definitely working insane hours, trying to climb that ladder as quick as I could.
23 kilos. See, I think one of two things happens, because I worked in a corporate law firm and I was an M&A lawyer. So, I was working and I ended up having a heart surgery. Like I was stressed out. Yeah.
But like I seen that pattern happening with people all the time. Like even when we were working on transactions and we were the service provider, not even doing the proper due diligence, it's intense.
It's so intense. And I look back, and at the time I liked the buzz of transactions, but now, my age now, where I am in my life with the family, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I put my body and my mind and my health under so much pressure. And like, I feel like people go one of two ways. You're either going to lose a shit ton of weight because you're so stressed, or the opposite.
Yeah.
You're going to put on a shit ton because you're just grabbing, like we had vending machines in the law firms, which had cereal. I used to have cereal at 1:00 in the morning. Like that was my
it's crazy
dinner.